They laughed at him, they doubted him, they called him crazy. But Elon Musk proved that the very people who laugh at your dreams today may one day live in the world those dreams create. Because his journey is not a straight line of success but a battlefield of rejection, betrayal, sleepless nights, and near bankruptcy. A journey that began not with rockets or electric cars, but with a young immigrant in America who had nothing but vision, fire, and an unshakable belief that if you want to change the future, you must first be willing to risk everything in the present. And so, with nothing in his pocket except relentless courage, Musk built his very first company, Zip2, crammed inside a tiny office with his brother Kimball, coding through the night, sleeping on the floor, showering at the YMCA, eating cheap food, and living like a soldier of ambition. While others enjoyed comfort, and when investors slammed doors in his face and said the internet was just a fad, Musk kept coding, kept pushing, kept selling, until finally Zip2 became valuable enough to be acquired, giving Musk his first millions. But instead of running to safety like most entrepreneurs, he reinvested everything into a new, even crazier dream called XCOM, an online bank at a time when people still laughed at the idea of sending money through email. And though mocked as risky and doomed, Musk pushed forward, and after a merger with Confinity, the world witnessed the birth of PayPal. A platform that didn't just transfer money but transformed global commerce, exploding in growth thanks to millions of eBay users who suddenly had a safe, simple way to pay online. But success came with chaos, because fraudsters attacked daily, hackers probed the system, regulators questioned legality, and servers groaned under the weight of transactions. While inside the boardroom, visions collided as Musk demanded PayPal become a full online financial empire, while others like Peter Thiel argued to keep it focused on email payments. And the clash turned brutal until in 2000, while Musk was away on his honeymoon, the board stripped him of his CEO role, a betrayal that cut deep, but Musk stayed the largest shareholder. And in 2002, when eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion, his 11.7% stake made him $180 million richer. Yet money was never his goal. Because while the world celebrated him as wealthy, Musk was already restless, haunted by bigger visions, believing humanity needed two revolutions: sustainable energy on Earth and interplanetary survival beyond it. And so he poured his fortune into Tesla Motors and SpaceX, companies so absurd that experts laughed, investors fled, and friends begged him to stop, because the auto industry had chewed up electric car startups for decades. And the space industry was dominated by governments with billion-dollar budgets. Yet Musk dared to believe he could win in both, creating electric cars that were fast, beautiful, and practical, and rockets that were reusable, affordable, and Mars-ready. But reality was merciless, with Tesla facing production delays, broken supply chains, and brutal cash burn, while SpaceX watched its first 3 rockets explode in failure. And by 2008, the global financial crisis struck, leaving Musk nearly broke, with his PayPal fortune evaporated into salaries, factories, rocket parts, and debt, standing at the edge of total collapse with enough money left to save only one company. But instead of letting go, he split his last resources between Tesla and SpaceX, choosing to fight for both. And in one of history's greatest turnarounds, SpaceX's 4th rocket finally reached orbit, making history as the first private rocket to do so, while Tesla received a last-minute investment that saved it from bankruptcy, proving that resilience can bend reality. And from that moment, Musk transformed from a millionaire entrepreneur into a visionary who would redefine industries. Because Tesla's Model S didn't just compete with gas cars, it crushed them, winning awards and forcing the world to accept that the future is electric, while SpaceX achieved reusable rockets that changed space forever, slashing costs and opening the door to Mars. Yet beneath all the glory lived the scars of PayPal, scars that had taught Musk that betrayal and loss are not endings but fuel, scars that reminded him that if you can survive being doubted, pushed out, and nearly destroyed, you can survive anything. And that lesson became the foundation of his empire, teaching every entrepreneur and dreamer that success in business and finance is never given. It is earned through rejection, through all-nighters, through going broke, through fighting when logic says quit. Because the truth is, no investor, no critic, no competitor decides your destiny, your will does. And Elon Musk's story is living proof that when you refuse to surrender, when you risk everything for a vision bigger than yourself, when you keep moving forward even as the world calls you insane, you don't just build companies, you build futures. And that is why his journey stands as the ultimate motivational story, a blueprint for every entrepreneur chasing financial freedom, every dreamer building a startup, every believer in business who wonders if it's worth the pain. Because Musk shows us that the pain is the price, the risk is the requirement, and the scars are the fuel. And in the end, the impossible is not owned by the lucky, not given to the privileged, but conquered by the relentless.